Hello and welcome to my Lope Talk. My name is Ryan, and I'm going to be walking everyone here through some things when it has to come to teaching in a science class. I know a lot of you guys are teachers. It's one of the things that we have to do when we're teaching in elementary, so I want to focus on a few things that we can do to help elevate our students' experience. And one of those is going to be engaging our students. Obviously, that's something that every teacher's goal is. You want to have the student run into class ready to learn, sit down, looking at you, quiet, not talking to their classmates, ready to go. That's the best way that they learn and retain all the information. We want to allow them to discover some information on their own. It's one thing if we walk into a class and we immediately start teaching, telling them what to do. Some kids respond to that well, others not so well. So what I like to do is we want to kind of present a problem on the board or a situation and then allow students to kind of absorb that, think about it a little bit, and then start asking questions, being able to see if they're able to look at the board and understand it. Another thing would be using technology, obviously smart boards, any experiments you can do, things that they can touch in their hands, little things with static electricity where they can make some hair float in the air with a little PVC tube. There's a lot that you can do. And then lastly, we want to make sure that they're being able to be creative. So giving them multiple situations where you say, would you want to drop a bowling ball versus an elephant to see how fast they fall with gravity, or a feather versus, a little tech deck skateboard. Things allow them to branch out and really connect with the information so that way they understand it a little bit better. It kind of goes hand in hand with what I was talking about, active inquiry. We want to present situations with more than one outcome. So having something on the board when they walk into the class, they're able to see it and they say, oh, maybe do we want to try to boil the water, or would we want to try to boil, salt water? What do we think would boil faster? What could happen from that? Give them more than one outcome. And then when they give you the answer to that, something like that, ask them, why do you think that? Try to make them think a little bit deeper than just the surface. Pick a 50-50, right? You want them to actually connect to the information. And then lastly, we want to give them time to process their thoughts. So don't just keep bombarding them with questions and being like, pick one. We want to say, all right, think about what you want to do. Why would this be a situation? Answer that solution in time, and then allow them to think about what the next step would be in coming to a conclusion. Science is ever evolving, and in the day and age that we live in now with digital apparatus, we need to be able to utilize that in our classroom. So I would say any time that you can get online, there are so many experiments online, discover online. There are so many different things that you can do through there where they have experiments where kids can literally use their iPad and click and drag something to make the water boil and come to conclusions there. They can follow a list of instructions to try to get a certain outcome. They can get a little bit more crazy and you can say, try to see if you can make the solution red and make them think about, oh, if this made it green and this made it blue, what can I use to make it red, kind of a thing, Another thing is interactive videos. I know that on Netflix there are those where you can pick a side, right? You remember reading those books when you were younger when you can say, oh, if you want to go this way, flip to page 54. Well, they kind of have that now with interactive videos where as a class you can set it up where they're sitting there and it's like, raise your hand if you want him to go to the left, raise your hand if you want him to go to the right, and allow them to feel like they're a part of the video that's actually on the screen and they have a little bit more of a connection. So in summary, there's a lot that we need to do when we're teachers. Broke it down to three main things. We want to make sure we're engaged with our students. We want to allow for them to be creative. And we always want to teach with a smile. We want them to know that we're happy to be here. We're excited about the information. Learning is power, and being able to memorize everything. And that's not the whole thing. We want them to actually connect with the information. So thank you for coming to my Lope Talk. I hope that everybody has a great day.